Welcome back to The Big Picture. Joining us right now, Joe Lombardi. You are the executive director of SWACO.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks for having me this morning.
Were you dry coming in today a little bit?
I was dry until I got out of my car,
okay.
And then rain started, so that's why I came in a little bit early just to stay dry here in the studio.
Give you some time to dry off a little bit.
Absolutely.
Well, the reason why we're having you in here today is because the new Class 2 composting facility that opened about a month ago. It's been in operation for about a month, and we want to ask you just how it's going.
Yeah, so we opened up the first Class 2 compost facility in Franklin County about a month ago, and what a Class 2 compost facility allows us to do is to take food waste and turn that into compost along with the yard waste that's in there. So far, so good. Food waste is a huge issue, not only in Franklin County, but all through the United States and around the world. And so this is just one opportunity for us to try to prevent food waste here in Franklin County.
I mean, we know that, landfill space is limited, and that has been one of SWACO's big pushes in the past is if we can keep it from going into that landfill, we will. And
right.
How big of a dent is this going to make in tackling some of that?
Yeah, so food waste represents the largest material by weight that comes into the landfill. About 1 million pounds per day of food waste comes into our landfills. So we hope it's a complex project or process because number one, we're trying to prevent food waste to begin with. That'd be the first thing I would suggest to anyone is to try to prevent food waste. The second is to try to rescue it, give it to homeless shelters, places of that nature, and then recovery, which is what the compost facility does. So we're hoping by opening this compost facility, we will be able to put a small dent into that problem that we have with food waste coming in every day. So that's our hope.
When you explain composting, can you break it down simply for us? Because
Sure.
I know people that compost at home, and obviously that's on a much smaller scale than what you guys are doing at this new facility. But can you just break it down simply and explain how it gets put back into the earth safely?
Yeah. So what we'll do is this particular piece of equipment will put food waste in, and you also have to put some wood chips and yard waste in it. And within 60 days from start to finish, it becomes a soil enhancer, is how I would call compost. So we're going to give that back to community gardens throughout Franklin County, and then that goes back into the soil so that they can grow vegetables and flowers, and it just becomes a soil enhancer to make your gardens much fresher and easier to grow vegetables and your flowers in the summer if the rain stops.
Right, and I mean it's not. If the rain, hopefully. I mean, it's supposed to be dry the rest of the week. Fortunately, now composting. It's not a quick process. It does take some time. Yeah. On something of this scale, what is kind of the timeline we're looking at in order to basically a load comes in, compare, and that turnaround time to getting that back out.
Yeah, so from the time we load the machine until it's completed that we can actually give back to those community gardens is about 60 days. So it's a little quicker than what you're used to seeing when you see the larger facilities that are outdoors. The good thing about this particular piece of equipment, it is enclosed in basically a freight container. There's an auger in there that just runs constantly that pushes the material and then pushes it out when it's done. So the machine does all the work, and then we'll take that after about 60 days and then provide that to different community gardens. So
and SWACO already purchased a second unit, right?
Yes, we've already purchased a second unit. We're working with partners right now to find out a new location for that one, but we feel pretty good about a couple partners that we're working with on where we want to put that next one.
When do you think that will open up?
Well, I don't know. How about that? How about that for an answer?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you are talking about just SWACO's efforts to make Central Ohio and this region's green print better, how does this really play into all of that and that major step that you guys have taken by opening this Class 2 facility?
Sure. So Green Print is a strategic action plan that we rolled out in 2025, and it really focuses on 3 pillars: reimagining our current programs, to seize upon opportunities that we haven't done before, and then to bring new technology and infrastructure to the region, which is what this compost facility is. So we're hoping as we move forward and we start getting into recycling of textiles and mattresses, we can really make a dent in that landfill and then make a bigger green print for all of our region. And our vision is to ensure sustainable future for Franklin County for the future generations.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking about the bags of lettuce I have in my refrigerator sometimes that I have to throw away.
Well,
because I don't eat them.
We are working with the city of Columbus right now on their 9 drop-offs. So there are 9 drop-offs that they have that will be taking that food waste from them and putting it into that machine. So if there's a food waste drop-off nearby, please bring your lettuce.
Okay.
And for folks at home who, what are some steps that people can go through to cut down on how much they are just throwing out?
Well, first of all, shop with a list and stay with it. I'm not very good at that, but that's number one. Number two is to really plan your meals ahead, especially in the summertime when you have all these parties and backyard barbecues. Try to figure out how many people are coming and really don't overbuy. And then lastly, use your leftovers. Repurpose your hamburgers from today, can be Salisbury steak tomorrow. So, and then I would encourage any of your listeners and all of our residents here in Franklin County to go to SaveMoreThanFood.org. That gives you tips, webinars on how to prevent food waste, recipes that you can use, leftover recipes as well. So just those 3 things alone would be great for any of our residents to start doing.
I love making leftover soup though.
Yes.
Just taking everything out of the fridge and putting it in a pot and cooking it down.
Yes.
So awesome. Joe, thank you so much for joining us
today.
Thank you for having me. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Alrighty. Well,